Hello and welcome to another Ask Us Anything Live with me, Kate R, for Intrepid English. Every Friday, I go live and I talk about a grammar point, vocabulary point, or even a pronunciation point. Sometimes it can be from a question that I had from a student of ours, or it could be when I take the question and I take it further. So a few weeks ago, I had a question about some modals, and it was about the modals of possibility. And then I thought, well, it would also be really useful to talk about the modals of obligation, which I talked about last week. And this week, I want to talk about the modal verbs of ability. So in English, we have the modal verbs must, might, may, will, would, can, could, should. And I think I've covered them all. And they have different meanings. And it's not always only one meaning. So it's best to learn them as in modals of possibility, modals of deduction, modals of ability, modals of obligation, okay? So that you then know, okay, well, if I'm talking about ability, I can use these modal verbs. So, the modal verb that we use to talk about ability is can. Also could. So those are the modal verbs that I'm going to talk about today. Now, first, when we talk about ability, we mean two things in English. We mean the general ability. That is something that once you have learned it once in your life, you can do it at any time you want. So, like being able to walk, being able to read, ride a bicycle, speak a language. Once you've learned it, you never forget it. That's a general ability. The other kind of ability is a specific ability. This means something that you can or can't do in a particular situation. So, for example, being able to lift something heavy or open a bottle or find somewhere you are looking for. Okay, that's a specific ability. So in the present, we use can and can't for both general and specific ability. So for example, I can play the saxophone. She can speak English. He can't drive. He never learned. We can't come to your house now. Yeah. We also use in the past. We've got could or couldn't. Now that is talking about a general ability. So I could read when I was 4. My sister could speak French when she was a child. Oh, let's say Spanish. My sister could speak French when she was a teenager, but now she has forgotten it. Did I say French or Spanish? I said, so my sister could speak Spanish when she was a teenager, but now she has forgotten it. He couldn't dance until he took lessons. And his son, no, let's say his, not his son, his brother couldn't swim. It's in the past. Now, if we want to talk about a specific ability in the past, we would use was able to, or couldn't, not could. Okay, so if it's positive, we say was able to, and if it's negative, we're going to say use couldn't. So when the computer crashed yesterday, I was able to fix it, not I could fix it. She was able to pass the English test, even though she hadn't studied much. Then in the negative, he called us because he couldn't find the apartment. That happens to us all the time. Delivery men can never find our apartment. So he called me because he couldn't find the apartment. I couldn't open the bottle, so I gave it to my husband. So now, If we're going to use could plus have plus past participle, that means an ability that somebody had in the past but didn't use. So I could have played the saxophone well, but I stopped practicing. They could have come earlier, but they missed the bus. He could have studied medicine, but he preferred to study history. Now let's look in the future. We're going, because can also have a future meaning. The otherwise we can use, but that's when we're talking about a specific ability. So I can help you tomorrow. I can do the dishes for you. And if it's a negative, I can't come to the meeting, for example. We can also use will or won't be able to for general ability. So at the end of the course, you will be able to speak English. She won't be able to speak Japanese in a week. It takes much longer. Okay, so I hope that's helped you with the modals of ability. And next week, I'm going to do modals of deduction. So I think that'd be really useful to do these 4 weeks, really focusing on the modals. If you have any questions, please comment below. Please also hit the like button and the subscribe button so you get more of my videos and also the videos of my colleagues. I'm very sorry I have a blocked nose. I'm sorry if you could hear that in my voice. And also, if you would like a more personalized version and to actually really answer all your questions and your problems in English, don't hesitate to book a trial lesson with us so that we can see how we can help you progress in English. In the meantime, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful weekend and see you next